Hello, my name is Janai Thornton, and welcome to episode number 5 of the NeverBroke podcast, where we show you how to save money, get out of debt, and have the money you want so you can live the life that you ultimately want. So my co-host today is my accountant and A&T sister, Miss Holly Reed.
Hello, everyone.
And Holly, I'm excited today because we're talking about a topic that's near and dear to us and a lot of women, and this is Say I Do and Save Money Too.
Yes, it is wedding season.
It is wedding season. And you know what's interesting, which I had no idea, that the more than 72 billion, that's what the billion dollars a year are spent on weddings.
Wow.
Billion. $19 billion is spent on wedding gift registries alone per year. Another billion with a B.
Yes.
And then on average, a U.S. wedding costs about $26,000 just for one wedding. And that's not including the honeymoon. So I'm wondering if we're in the right profession right now.
I mean, if you are looking to start a business or offer a service, this is the perfect industry.
I see what the big deal is.
Yes.
And why all the TV shows and everything. It's really a big deal.
Yes.
So what I want to make sure that we talk to people about today is how they can have the wedding of their dreams, have the moment and the memories, but also not be broke after the end, and then not be paying for a wedding 3, 5, and maybe 10 years later.
Yes. So we know that over 50% of marriages typically don't last.
Yes.
Not to be negative Nancy,
Right.
but we also know that the number one cause of divorce is money. So we are trying to give you guys tips today where money and debt, wedding debt, will not be an issue starting off this new chapter in your life.
Right.
So this can be a very emotional time.
Yes.
And you know, when we're really emotional, people make emotional purchases
Right.
and spend far more than they need to. So we're going to start by just talking, giving them some tips again, some practical things that they can do, maybe things that many people may not be aware of,
Right.
In order to save money in the long run.
Right.
Okay.
So let's jump right in. Let's start talking about what are the worst times of the year for people to get married.
Yeah. So like any season, weddings have a peak season.
Right.
So the months of May through December are going to be the peak season for weddings. So you want to try to avoid those months if possible. When I got married many years ago, I had my wedding in March.
Yeah, we got married in February.
Yeah. So see, we both probably saved a little money by doing so. And that was actually intentional.
Okay.
Another thing you want to try to do is avoid any kind of long weekends. So any weekends that lead up to a holiday,
Okay.
you want to avoid those. Memorial Day, Labor Day.
Anything where people have that Monday off.
Yes,
Okay.
because those are going to be peak because people are looking for times where they can make a quick trip.
Right.
So the rates are going to be higher. So you just want to try to avoid holidays as well.
And I'm sure that's for everything. The hotel, the rental cars,
Yes.
the flights, the venue, everything is going to cost more during that holiday time.
Yes. So not only the month,
Right.
the actual weekend,
Right.
but now you want to try to avoid getting married on a Saturday. So try any other day but a Saturday. There are so many events that go on in cities across the U.S. and in the Caribbean, because I know that's a popular place for
Right.
weddings.
Destination weddings.
Exactly. So think about a Thursday.
Right.
How about a Friday?
The last wedding we went to was actually on a Friday, and the couple who got married, that was their whole intent and strategy was really just to save money.
Yes.
Yep.
I actually have a friend who was really stuck on a date.
Right.
She wanted 10, 11, 12.
Right.
And so I think it fell like on a Thursday.
Right.
And those that want to be there for you, they'll be
figure it
there
out.
for you.
Yep.
Exactly.
They'll definitely figure it out.
Exactly.
And what a lot of people need to understand too, the time of day that you get married actually matters too.
Oh, yeah.
So once you get your day and your dates narrowed down, consider having an early wedding. So these early morning weddings have become more popular where people are having brunch after the wedding.
Yes.
So that way, from a food perspective, now you don't have the full bar anymore.
Right.
People are doing like mimosas and maybe sangria, so it's helping with the liquor cost. And then the menu is different because now you have breakfast items.
Yes. And you know, breakfast items are always going to be a little more affordable
No question
than your
about that.
heavy hors d'oeuvres, your steak, your salmon, So you can definitely save money on food and, like you said, alcohol as well, if that's something that you want at your wedding.
Yep. So consider a breakfast time or early afternoon time on one of these off days that we talked about for sure.
Yes.
Yep. And so now that we've got the date set, we got the time set, what are some of the most common mistakes people make when they get married?
Well, and this is not just when you get married,
Right.
but especially when you get married and you're planning for a big event like a wedding. A lot of people fail to actually create a budget.
Right.
So the first step is actually creating a budget. The second step is actually sticking to it.
Absolutely.
So that's probably the biggest shortfall that many people see, whether it's on the bride or the groom,
Right.
whoever's managing the money, it doesn't matter. You kind of want to have a ballpark figure or a set dollar amount that you want to target to spend, no more, no less. And you can determine what you want to spend based on your income, maybe some bonuses that you know are coming down
right.
that you actually will receive before the wedding date. But just try to think ahead and try to plan for your actual budget amount.
And I think what's really important too with that is for people to really think about not just this total for the budget, but you need to itemize that budget.
Yes.
What are you going to spend on the reception? What are you going to spend on the honeymoon? What are you going to spend on your favors? You want that detailed budget for sure.
Exactly.
Right.
And if you don't have an idea, the first place is just do some research.
Right.
Just look around and see how much our place or venues typically going for. If you have friends that have been married before, ask them. I know some people can be shy and maybe be really conservative about what they actually spend on their wedding.
Right.
But if you have some good friends, just ask them, to give you some honest feedback so you can set a realistic budget.
Okay. No, I think that's very helpful for sure. So what else? What are some other common mistakes people make when they are getting ready for the big day?
A lot of people don't start saving early enough.
Right.
So you're going to get married, typically a year in advance.
Right.
You want to start thinking about and parking away some funds to cover the cost.
Definitely want to do that for sure.
But a part of that is also having realistic expectations and not expecting other people to pay for your wedding.
Well,
So, yeah.
Well, I think that's a conversation people need to have, though.
Exactly.
Because that way that becomes part of the budget. That day of the bride's family paying for the full wedding, that doesn't really happen too much anymore.
No, it doesn't.
So you really want to make sure that you're clear on who's contributing what and factoring that into your dream of what your big day is going to be like.
Right. So don't budget other people's money. You need to plan to pay for this large event 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So one thing that people really need to think about is a technique to save for the wedding.
Oh.
And I talked to a young couple after they got married, and what they said that they did was they set up a separate bank account. And so every pay period, once they got engaged, they had a certain amount coming out of both of their checks going into this joint account. And this was their wedding fund account.
Okay.
And so hopefully people can actually save money together like that.
Yes.
And if you're concerned about putting the money together in a joint account, maybe you at least should have two separate accounts where this money is going into every pay period. But obviously, like you said, the earlier you start, the better.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you want to pay for everything out of this account. That's going to be critical. So no commingling with your other funds, not paying your utilities and your mortgage out of your wedding fund. This is the money that you set aside for your big day.
Yes, that's a very important tip and a great technique to just make sure that it's separate and bills can be paid for accordingly.
Right. And so one thing that, we didn't talk about, but I want to make sure we loop back to it is this whole notion of people getting in so much credit card debt behind the wedding.
Yes, you absolutely want to avoid that. And so like we mentioned before, the number one reason that people have conflict in marriages to begin with is dealing with money. There being some either miscommunication or someone not sticking to an agreement that was made, or agreed upon earlier.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you do not use your credit, you don't pay for the wedding totally with a credit card with the thought of we'll pay for it later.
Absolutely.
You want to be sure that you try to pay for 100% of your wedding shortly after the wedding.
No, there's no question about that. And, I know too many people who several years after are still paying credit card debt related to the wedding.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, is you cannot expect that the gifts that you're going to get are going to cover the wedding.
No.
That math just doesn't always add up that way.
And think about it. Like, a lot of people receive gift cards now.
Right.
So the gift cards can't pay your credit card bill.
Absolutely not. Not the credit card bill that I have anyway. Maybe for other folk. So let's transition to our tech highlight for the day.
Yes, I was just about to say, this is the perfect time for us to highlight something, a resource, a tool that's going to help you. So for those who are tuning in for the first time,
Yes.
every show we offer a resource or a tool that will help you specifically for the topic that we're addressing today.
Right.
So since today's topic is Say I Do and Save Money Too, the tech highlight for today is an app called Wedding Budget. Now, when you Google or search for this in the App Store, there will be two that pop up. One is a paid for $2.99, but there's also a free app, and that's the one that I recommend today. With this one, it's going to help you budget and stay on track. So even with weddings, there are small expenses that will add up quickly.
Absolutely.
$50 here, $125 here, and, this app, easy. Pull it up on your phone. You can create your own categories based off of the wedding of your dreams and input the items. Track it against your budgeted totals, and make sure you stay on track. So good luck with that.
Well, one thing where I think that will be really important and helpful for people is you have to see that running total of where you are.
Yes.
Because like you said, $50 here, $100 here, you have no idea where you are from a total perspective. You want to keep that in mind as you're out there swiping that card and getting all the things that you want and need for your wedding for sure.
Yes.
Yep. So one thing that I want to talk about too, Holly, is, you think about the big day and you see all the TV shows, say yes to the dress. People spend a lot of money on that wedding dress.
Yes.
Yes. And so that definitely could be what we call a budget buster for sure.
Yes.
So we just want to talk about some techniques or things that women can do to kind of keep that cost down. When I got married, I know it's been a while ago. It's been about 22 years ago. I actually rented my dress.
Oh, okay.
Yep, rented my dress. Never even thought that was an option. But when I was looking around, went to a dress shop. We were living in Atlanta. We were getting married out of state. And she said, you know what? Have you thought about renting? Worked out perfect.
That's awesome.
Got my dress. They altered it. I took it back to them. I didn't have to pay for cleaning. I didn't have to do anything. Got my one wear out of the dress. I was done.
Yeah, so not only do boutiques offer that service,
right.
I know there's a site. It's called renttherunway.com.
Okay.
And I've actually used it a couple of times just for formal events that come my way, and maybe I don't want to wear the same dress that's already posted on social media 1,200 times.
Right. Got to switch it up.
Exactly. So it's called renttherunway.com. Okay. And with this particular site, you can order the dress and you can request two sizes.
Okay.
So maybe you think you're a 6, but maybe the 8 fits a little better.
Probably so. Uh-huh.
So you have those two dresses with you, so you can fit it to your body, weight, and shape at that point in time. And then, like you said, no cleaning fee. You just return it, and voila.
And all done. Another thing that a lot of women should really look into is talking to other brides. So many people have begun to sell their dresses now, even though they are happily married and not just because they're divorced or things didn't work out, but they're like, why do I have this $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 dress in my closet?
Right.
So you want to talk to them. Maybe you want to think about buying one of the samples on the floor as well.
That's a great idea.
A lot of options, and also with weddings having a peak season, there's a peak season for wedding dress costs too.
Yes.
So you may want to consider buying off season or when they're switching out their inventory, again, just so you can save some money.
Okay. And I don't know, is Feline's Basement still open? Because I know there are certain stores, major stores, that will have bridal sales during certain parts of the year, sell them for $99 or far below market value.
Absolutely.
And you can get exactly what you need or exactly what you like.
Right. So I hope today was helpful. So as you get ready to say yes on this big day, that you're also going to save some money too.
Yes.
Yep. And so thank you for watching today. And please follow us. You can follow me at Janai Thornton. That's JINITHORNTON. And my website is janithornton.com. And how can people find you, Holly?
Well, they can find me on social media at themasterplaybook.com. So that's my website.
Okay.
But they can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter with the Master Playbook handle.
Okay. Thanks for watching.